And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Walske Group. I'm Maya. Well, we've been kind of busy over the last week with the holidays going through, and we've had a real bad snowstorm here in the Midwest and everything. So I know this video is kind of late, but I still wanted to share this video as part of the my holiday baking sessions here. So what we're doing today is we're going to do our pecan pie, southern pecan pie. And this is a really good recipe. I like this recipe a lot. So what we're going to do is we have our oven already preheated to 350 degrees. And we are going to start off by, in our saucepan here, we have a quarter of a cup of butter. And I'm going to melt the butter. And then once the butter is melted, I'm going to add to it, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Now the reason why I like doing this way is because most of these recipes for like pecan pies, you see them, it's like just, mix everything in a bowl, pour it into the pie and bake. And this is going to be baked, but I find that like if you melt the sugar, the corn syrup, the cinnamon, all of that's going into this recipe. You coat the nuts, the pecans and everything, put them in your pie shell, bake it that way. It's a really nice moist pie and it turns out really good. So like I say, we're going to get started. I already got the butter here starting to melt in my saucepan here. So I'm just using just a regular old spatula just to kind of mix it all together. Then I'm just going to add in my brown sugar. Let that all heat up. And once this melts and all comes together. Oh, this is melting actually. While this is melting actually, I'm going to just read off the rest of the ingredient list here. So like I say, we have 3/4 cup of brown sugar. We're going to have 1/4 cup of butter. We have 1.5 cups of corn syrup, 4 eggs, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 cups of pecans, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, for our pecans, we just go to the store and we just buy this like 8-ounce bag of pecan pieces. And this works out perfect. 8 ounces is roughly about 2 cups. So this is more than enough to get you what you need. And what we're going to do is we are going to be using, right out of the freezer, as soon as I get this all mixed up, I'll show you. Right out of the freezer, we're just going to use an 8-ounce, or I mean not an 8-ounce, I mean a 9-inch frozen pie shell. And that's a ready to bake one. And that one too. You don't have to do nothing special with that. You're just going to fill it, bake it, and it comes out really nice crust. It doesn't get soggy. It doesn't, not like come out unbaked or anything like that. So that, like I say, this is a really good recipe. And this was another one that was my grandmother's recipe from the South and all that. So like I say, this is a really nice one for the holidays. So once our butter and brown sugar melt, all come together. I don't know if you can see that in the pan. It's just kind of runny like this kind of deal. It's just right where we want it. We are going to then add in our 1.5 cups of corn syrup. So we'll add this in. And again, this is just light corn syrup. That's the 1 cup. And 1/2 cup here. Okay. Okay, now that's the corn syrup. And to this, since this is starting to come together here, nicely. Okay. Next we'll add is our other wet and dry ingredients here. So I need a teaspoon of cinnamon, which is right here. A teaspoon of cinnamon. We're doing half a teaspoon of salt. Salt. And again, the salt is just going to bring out that that cinnamon taste and everything and all that. And then we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And that's our wet ingredients. Now for this one, we started off with just a rubber spatula here, but I'm going to switch over and I'm going to put this over here on my sheet pan for right now. I'm going to go to your wire whisk. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, this is starting to warm up, and I'm just going to whisk in that vanilla, cinnamon, get it all mixed in here really well. Then what I'm going to do is I started off at a high heat, so now I'm going to turn my heat down to low. Now that everything is coming together here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the 4 eggs. Now I know like a lot of times they say you're supposed to temper your eggs, and I understand that for some recipes and everything. But I found what this recipe is that if you put the egg in, you whisk it really, really good, the egg will just won't, I mean, it'll start to cook a little bit, but it's not going to make that big of a difference in this recipe. So it's not like, you know, it's going to like have like scrambled egg chunks in your recipe or whatever. So what I do is just put one, drop the little pizza. Just put in 1 egg at a time, and just hold on to the pan here. And what I do is I just break open the egg yolk, and then just start whisking it in here as fast as I can. And that's why, like I say, that's why to this point I can turn the heat off, because this is hot enough now, and this is all liquid. The corn, the sugar's melted. The corn syrup isn't stiff anymore, and it's right where I want it to be. So, put in our second egg. And again, just whisk it really well. And not only that, but after you turn this off, when you start putting the cold egg in here too, I mean, it's going to drop the temperature of this a little bit, not by much. So you're still going to have, like I say, some very minimal egg white showing up. But I found that in this recipe, like I say, it doesn't make a difference. At least me on taste and texture and everything. It doesn't really like make that big of a difference if you have the like little pieces of egg white in there or not. The egg is just going to basically finish cooking when we throw this in the oven, and you know, help to bring the pie all together. So let me just set these off to the side. All right. So then, got our last egg in here. Whisk this up really well, and as you can see, you get, you know, kind of a dark brown color, and it's, you know, real runny. But trust me, this will all fit into a 9-inch pan. So the next step now, we're going to switch back over to our rubber spatula here. And we're going to put in our 2 cups of pecan pieces. Put them right in there. And then stir this up to coat, you know, all the pecan pieces. And that's all set. So now, I have never like really had any issues with this pie. As many times as I've made it over baking, but you might want to just end up getting yourself, you know, a sheet pan or whatever that you have to put the pie shell on when you're filling it, because like I say, one, it makes it easier to put it in. 2, if it does happen to over bake, you know, you're not going to mess up your oven or anything like that. So next we have a deep dish pie shell here, and this is a 9-inch one, 9-inch pie shell, deep one. And right out of the freezer, you don't have to defrost it. You don't have to do anything special with it. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to bring it over here so you can kind of see. But you're going to just take this mixture, and you're going to just pour it right in there. And it's going to go right to the edge of the pie, as you can see. So then baking it. We have, like I say, we have our oven set 350 degrees. This recipe says anywhere from 50 minutes to an hour. I found that if you do 55 minutes, you kind of hit that, like that sweet spot, like they say. The pie isn't like over dry, overcooked, but then again, it's not undercooked. And what you're looking for is that when, after the 55 minutes, you're looking to want to just shake the pie a little bit. You want the center of it to be kind of like a you know, a Jello kind of texture. You know, like, you know how Jello wobbles when it's set up. That's kind of what you're looking for with this pie. So let me get this pie in the oven. When it comes out, take out a slice, and I'll show you guys how it ends up. So we'll be right back. All right. So after about an hour or 55 minutes in the oven, we ended up pulling our pie out. We let it cool down. And this is what it looks like once it was all said and done. Turned out really nice. You got a nice texture to this pie and everything. So what we're going to do is we already pre-cut it. So we're going to end up grabbing out a piece here just to show everybody what it looks like. I'm going to end up just putting it in a bowl here. But this first piece out of here. Let me grab, sorry about that. Got to grab something here to kind of get underneath it. Because that first piece is always the hardest one to get out. There we go. There we go. Lift that out. And as you can see, the pie is still nice and moist on the inside. And it didn't come out perfectly, and I understand that. You know, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you know, look at how that looks or whatever. But you know what? I ended up doing this stuff. It's like home cooking. And, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just the thought of that counts. Now let's end up grabbing a fork here. And we'll give this a try. See how this tastes. You get those coated pecan pieces with that brown sugar and the corn syrup and everything. And like I say, this was another recipe that, again, I didn't, like I say, really temper the eggs or anything. But when you look at this pie, you can't even tell that, you know, there was the eggs were like that or whatever. So this recipe, like I say, is a real favorite. And I know we're late on the holidays, but if you still want to try it out, you know, give it a try. It's a real good recipe. So thanks for watching, everyone. And if you're new to this channel and you haven't yet subscribed, you know, please hit that subscribe button. And if you could, you know, give this video a thumbs up because it really helps out the video and it helps out the channel. And going into New Year's, we're going to start just doing some regular cooking for the month of January. We're going to come out with maybe a video once a week or so, showing you like different things that we're going to get from the stores and cook and everything. And then once we hit about February, we're going to have like our Valentine's package deal, where we're going to do a lot of stuff for Valentine's Day. March, you know, St. Patrick's. By that point, we're going to be getting back in, you know, to the landscaping part. Going to be showing everybody some stuff outside, like flower plantings, garden set up again. We're going to try to do the garden again this year. We're going to try to concentrate on it more than ever. And we're just going to try to keep continuing to grow this channel and show everybody, you know, like all kinds of stuff, you know, like I say, from your yard to your home, decorating, everything like that. So I hope you all, you know, stay tuned and, you know, keep subscribing. And until next time, everyone, I'm Maya with the Walske Group. Have a good one and have a great new year. And we'll see you next time right here. Take care, everyone.